Hey guys, Nathan here from MK.Coding. Now, in my last video, I talked about some of the basics of variables and why they are so significant in all coding languages. At the end, I also encouraged you guys to experiment with some fun things you could do. Now, here is one of those things. It's a Mad Lib. Now, some of you guys might recognize this as one of those books in which you can fill in the blanks and create a funny story. Now, this is a very rudimentary version of that, but it will still function and introduce a new concept called inputs. Now, an input in Python is, the syntax is like this. There's a word input, then parentheses, and then a quote. This is a prompt for the user to type something in on their keyboard. Then the computer will store that input and assign it to a variable. So here, this name variable will store a word, this location variable will store a word, and this object variable will store a word. And notice this /n here, which stands for new line. So it'll create a new line after the prompt is typed out. So you can see it does that. So for enter a name, I'm going to say Nathan. For location, let's say the MK.Coding headquarters. And for an object, I don't know, let's say pickles. So here is the sentence that is formed by that. One day, Nathan went to the MK.Coding headquarters to get some pickles. Now notice how it took each of those words and applied it to the sentence. Now this is just one of the things you could do, and I encourage you guys to make it far more detailed and interesting than mine. With some more concepts, you'll be able to create very advanced choose-your-own-adventure stories as well, which is very interesting. But now I want to show you another simple experiment you can do with variables, and that's a calculator. Now this is a very simple addition calculator, but it uses the concepts that I've introduced of variables and inputs while adding something new. So in order for a calculator to take what the words we've entered as input and then convert them into a number, we have to use this syntax. It says int, which stands for integer, and then parentheses around the prompt. And that will convert our input into a number that can be used in mathematical operations. So num1 variable will store a variable that we enter as a number. Num2 will do the same. Then it'll add those two numbers. So let's say num1, I don't know, 6,900. Num2, let's say 5,420. And here it adds those two numbers. Now this is an addition calculator, but we can simply change the sign to make it a subtraction calculator. So let's see what happens. Now it subtracts those two numbers. Let's see multiplication, why not? You can see it does that. Let's try one more. Division. You can see it does division as well. Now again, with new concepts, we'll be able to create far more advanced calculators that can do a variety of operations with more than two numbers. But for now, here are just two things that you can do with variables and the knowledge you already have. So I hope you guys found this useful.